is the rust of the, if you want to think metaphorically, the cholesterol is the rust of the coronary arteries. And what statins are doing, they prevent the synthesis of cholesterol, and gradually the cholesterol goes away, which is fantastic. So now we know that cholesterol is also a predictive parameter for heart attacks. So many of you, not the young ones, I hope, are going, and every year they are making biochemistry, and the doctor tells them that they have high cholesterol, and he will immediately recommend them to take statins. Now, I'll tell you immediately the story of statins. Statins are like aspirin. Statins are also preventive, which is the magic of it. But how many in the audience are taking statins? I do. Nobody? Oh, yeah. Here there is a collection of hands. In this wing, somebody? Oh, you're all young here? Anyway, but you see, we are talking something that is, even in this small random audience, there are at least 10 people who are taking statins, and another 20 that are shy to raise your hands or too tired. So, but it turns out that statins have also preventive effect, and it looks like they can prevent heart attack, not only for people that have high cholesterol, but also for people that have low cholesterol. And it turns out that they can prevent also Alzheimer's disease and other diseases. And again, you know, whether you want to take statins or not, it's your decision, it's your doctor. People are afraid of drugs. I'm a physician, so I can prescribe my own drugs, and I do what I want. But 10 years ago, without having cholesterol, without having heart attack, without having anything, I decided to take 2 drugs, aspirin and statin. And I think that I'm not going to regret it, at least not that far. So statins are now, you see here the patient that holds his heart. He suffers from heart attack, and I will not go through all this. This is the composition, the chemistry. It's called Crestor. I mean, there are all kinds of, there is Lipitor and atorvastatin, and the drug companies are making it better and better. The patent is off, and each company is making its own product, and some are better, some are less better. But all I can tell you, that statins are sold these days for close to $20 billion a year. Aspirin doesn't make any money anymore. Statins is the most money-making drug, is the blockbuster of the market. There is not any other drug in the market that makes more money to the companies than statins. Millions and millions and millions of people in the world take it, and I can tell you that more millions should take it but don't take it because of different reasons. They live in developing countries, the insurance company don't cover it, and they simply die of heart attacks later on because they don't take it. We could have saved their lives, but we don't do it because you know that Western medicine is not something that is available to each of us, and this is a heavily moral, debatable subject that we don't have the time to go into. We may discuss it later. So this is high throughput. Let's go to the third revolution. And the third revolution is going to be very complicated. This is going to be the intelligent revolution. We are not going to rely anymore on serendipity of innovative scientists. We are not going to rely on mass screening of millions. We are going to plan. Now, where does it come from? Where is the arrogance that came to the scientists and to the pharma companies that they can plan at all? What are the tools that are available today that we can at all plan? This is the future. We are trying to be prophets, and being prophets is not something... but there are signs already, and I want to take you through it because this is a little bit complicated, but I hope to simplify it to you as much as I can. Now, current medicine is, as you can imagine from what I told you, is very primitive. I called it one size fits it all. I mean, it's like, you know, you go to a hat store, you buy one hat, and that's it. It's like buying a pajama. Think about pajamas. When you go to pajama, it's not that you are going to a good Milanese fashion store, that you want the tailor to make your suits exactly sitting on the shoulder, and the women want it to be. The pajama is like, you know, there are 3 sizes, small, medium, large. It has a big rubber, and you buy a pajama. That's what you do. Look at this. So it's one size fits all. Now, what do we mean in medicine, one size fits all? One size fits all is the reflection of the primitive state of current medicine. Let's take two women. I want that you'll understand it very well. Two women, white, black, doesn't matter, the same ethnic origin, the same socioeconomic state. They live in a suburb of Milano or of Tel Aviv. And if they live in the suburb, they're probably coming from the same background, more or less. They go to the clinic of oncology, to the same doctor. They meet at the waiting hall of the oncologist. And both of them complain that during taking a shower, they felt a lump in their breast. Or a man comes and tells the doctor a story that he has recently problems in urinating, and he suspects that he has a hypertrophied big prostate, because the prostate occludes the way, the conduit of the urine. So two men live in Milan, in the center of the city, in Tel Aviv, in New York, in Washington, wherever. They live in the same suburb, they have the same socioeconomic background. They come to the doctor, and the doctor checks the woman, he takes biopsies, and yes, the two women have the same very cancer. The pathologist looks at the specimen and it says you have intraductal carcinoma, which penetrated a little bit into the outside tissue, and we have to go and to do mastectomy or lumpectomy, doesn't matter. So the two women go to the surgery. After a week, they go home. Now, after a year or 2 years, the two women come back for a routine checkup. One woman shows up with metastasis in the bone, which means that she is going to die in a few years because we cannot cure it. The disease was spread to the bones or to the brain or to the liver, and the other woman is completely symptom-free. She was completely got rid of the disease. The same with the prostate man. The prostate was treated, doesn't matter how, by resection, partial resection, surgery, some chemical castrectomy, some anti-testosterone drugs, doesn't matter how. The two men come after a year to the doctor. One man is coming with metastasis to the bone, the other one doesn't have anything. How can it be? They showed up with the same disease. The doctor, the pathologist looked at the specimen, at the biopsy, and told the woman, or told the doctor, that the two diseases are identical. How is it that within a year or 2 or 3, the two women or men took completely different pathway? One died, and one is living happily with the family. How can it be? One explanation. They did not have the same disease. We thought that they had the same disease, but they did not have the same disease. At the molecular level, at the fine-tuning, at the very basic mechanism, the disease was different. But we couldn't see it. Why we couldn't see it? Because we didn't have tools. We still don't have tools. We think that they have the same disease. We check the breast, we go to do mammography, we go to X-ray, but this is not good enough. At the molecular level, one had a disease that was extremely aggressive, that was not taken away by the surgery, and the other woman had a much milder, weaker, more benign disease. Now, the two women, why I told you one size fits all? The two women were treated the same, but this was a crime because they didn't have the same disease. This is one size fits all. We cut the disease out, we took the scalpel, the surgeon took the tumor, maybe we irradiated them or treated them a little bit with chemotherapy and sent them home. And one died and left orphans and a widower behind, and the other is living happily with the family. We basically did not diagnose the woman with a severe disease correctly. We did a mistake, but we didn't have a choice because there were no other tools. This was a naive mistake. This was a mistake that couldn't be corrected even because we don't have the tools. But now we are going to develop the tools. And I'll show you how we are going to develop the tools. We are going to develop molecular tools. And I'll show you one example about what we call molecular tools. Look at this. These are two breast cancer.